My daughter's soccer coach told me she wasn't serious enough for the team, but she was the only kid to show up after he skipped practice for 3 weeks. The coach had this whole speech about dedication and commitment during our first parent meeting. He looked around the room like he was talking to Olympic hopefuls instead of 8-year-olds. Your daughters need to eat, sleep, and breathe soccer if they want to be on my team, he said, crossing his arms. I don't have time for kids who aren't serious about winning. My daughter Emma was bouncing in her seat next to me, so excited to start her first season. She'd been asking for soccer lessons for months, practicing kicks in our backyard until the neighbors probably wanted to scream. When we got home that night, she lined up all her stuffed animals and explained the rules to them like they were her teammates. The first few practices went okay. Emma would come home sweaty and happy, talking about drills and scrimmages. But then the coach started getting weird. He'd show up 20 minutes late, then spend half the practice on his phone. The kids would just stand around while he argued with someone about his car payment or complained about his job at the hardware store. One Thursday, Emma had her cleats on and was ready to go an hour early. We got to the field and waited. Other parents started showing up, checking their phones, looking confused. After 30 minutes, someone called the coach, straight to voicemail. One mom finally got a text back that said, "Canceled today, sick." The next week, same thing. No show, no call until the last minute. Then it happened again. Parents were getting frustrated, asking for their money back. The park district said they couldn't find the coach and were looking for a replacement. Most families just quit and signed up for swimming lessons instead, but not Emma. Every Tuesday and Thursday, she'd put on her uniform and grab her water bottle. "Maybe coach is better today," she'd say. Even when I explained he wasn't coming, she'd insist we drive to the field just in case. We'd sit in the car for a few minutes so she could see the empty field, and then she'd ask if we could practice passing anyway. After 3 weeks of this, I was done. I marched into the park district office and demanded answers. The woman behind the counter looked embarrassed and said the coach had been relieved of his duties, but they hadn't told the families yet. Apparently, he'd been missing other responsibilities too, showing up drunk to equipment meetings. That's when she mentioned they were having trouble finding a replacement mid-season. Most of the other coaches were busy, and the few who responded said the team was probably too far behind to salvage. "It's really a shame," she said, "especially for the kids who were really committed." I thought about Emma, still putting on her cleats twice a week for a practice that didn't exist. "What if I coached them?" I asked. The woman blinked at me like I'd suggested we play on the moon. "Do you have experience?" I laughed. "I have YouTube and a kid who hasn't given up yet." 2 days later, I was standing on a soccer field with a whistle around my neck, watching Emma sprint toward me with the biggest smile I'd ever seen. "You came back!" she yelled, throwing her arms around my waist. Behind her were 3 other kids whose parents had the same idea I did: show up and see what happened. We didn't win a single game that season. Our first match ended 7-0, and Emma spent most of it chasing butterflies near the goal. But she never missed a practice, not once. She'd drag me outside on weekends to work on her footwork, and started sleeping with her soccer ball like other kids sleep with teddy bears.